create a smoky eye with some depth, or in today's case a cut crease, you will need 4 different shadows. I'm going with a blue colour theme today just to show you that it will work with any colour. So you're going to need a highlight shade, a transition colour, a crease colour, and then a definer shade. So for today's look, that's a white, a light blue, a dark blue, and then a black. So the highlight shade may need to be altered depending on your skin tone, but after that you just need to pick a colour, then select a light and dark version of it, and then have a black handy. I'm using the Wet n Wild Colour Icon palette today because it has all the shades that I need and more, and it's very affordable. But before we worry about applying the eyeshadows, we need to prep the eyes first. So I'm just using a primer as usual all over the eye to give the shadows something to stick to so that they last for the entire day. I'm starting out with that light blue and I'm drawing in my guideline first. You can use some tape or a piece of card, but I think you all know by now that I like to freehand it. Once that line is in place, we then have a point to blend our shadows in from. There are many reasons why people create a cut crease effect. It can be to simply create a crease, or to give the illusion of a larger lid space, or to simply add the wow factor to a makeup look. Today I'm just defining my natural crease. I'm starting out using a pencil brush, and all I'm really doing is drawing a curved line across my crease, mirroring the shape of my upper lash line. I like to take some product on the tip of my brush, place it in the crease, and then flick upwards. And you want to do this all the way along the crease line, and doing so will give you a gradient effect. If you find it easier or just less time consuming, you can take a blending brush instead to fade out the blue. Or, as sometimes I like to do, you can mix and match between the two. So you can lay down the bulk of the colour with the pencil brush and then blend it out with your blending brush. To make the process of blending the shadows easier, remember to work your way from light to dark. So now I'm going in with that slightly darker blue and repeating the steps. I find that if I tilt my head back, it's easier to apply the shadows in the crease because the skin is kind of stretched. Or another tip if you're struggling is to look down into a mirror and it will more or less give you the same effect. Once I have that dark blue in the crease and I'm happy with how it looks, I can move on to the darkest shade to add some depth. So repeating the same steps again, I'm just taking a little product on the tip of my brush and running it through the crease, making sure not to blend it up as high as the previous shade. To further carve out the crease, I'm using an angled brush. I'm pressing the colour onto the crease line and then flicking upwards to blend the shadow. You could have started out with this brush, but I think it's easier to start off not so precisely, and then when you have that guide, you can do the precision work more effectively. Another way to ensure a clean, crisp cut crease is to use some makeup remover on a cotton bud. I'm using a pointed one because it's more precise, and I'm just sharpening that crease line. Then I'm applying that highlight shade all over the eyelid and up to the brow bone. I forgot to apply it on the brow bone at the beginning of the tutorial, but I would have been leaving the lid for last anyway, because if I had have applied it first, I would have ended up removing some of the lid colour when I was cleaning up the crease line. Next, I'm creating a thin winged eyeliner. I want the focus to be on the cut crease, but I'm applying lashes next, so I need to conceal the lash band, and that's why a thin liner works best for this look. For the lashes, I'm using the Ardell 117s, and I'm using a tweezers to apply them in the centre of my upper lash line. Once that's stuck nicely in place, I'm then tacking down the lash on the inner and outer corner of my eye. All of these steps are just extra steps that I'm taking now, so feel free to stop whenever you want. I'm applying the shadows in the same order along my lower lash line because I feel I need to in order to balance out the look. Finally then, I'm applying some mascara to blend my own lashes in with the false ones, and then that's it. So I hope you found this tutorial helpful and easy to follow. If you did, let me know, and thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in my next video.